In 6.3, we're going to multiply polynomials. The first one is just going to be monomials, and we've done a few of those. So I'm just going to do a couple or a few of them real quick. Say we have x squared times 3x. We're going to multiply 3 times 1 is 3. X squared times x is x to the 2 plus 1, or x to the 3. So 3x squared. If we have 2x times 7x squared, 2 times 7 is 14. X to the 1 times x to the 2 is x to the 1 plus 2, or x to the 3. One with negatives, negative 2x squared times 3x to the 3. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. X to the 2 times x to the 3 is x to the 2 plus 3, or x to the 5. Okay, so the next one is going to be a monomial times a polynomial. And on these, what we're going to do is use the distributive property. So we've done some like this, just not as complex as these ones. So let's say we have 8x times 7x to the 4 plus 1. We're going to say 8x times 7x to the 4 plus 8x times 1. 8 times 7 is 56. X to the 1 times x to the 4 is x to the 1 plus 4, or x to the 5. And then 8x times plus 1 is just 8x. So the answer here is 56 x to the 5 plus 8x. Then let's say we have 9x squared times 3x squared plus x minus 4. Okay, so we're going to distribute the 9x squared to everything. And we're going to have 9x squared times 3x squared. So 9 times 3 is 27. X squared times x squared is x to the 4. Then we have a plus. 9x squared times x. 9 times 1 is just 9. X squared times x is x to the 2 plus 1, or x to the 3. And we have a minus. 9x squared times 4 is going to be 36x squared. So all we're doing is distributing. Okay, then let's say that we have one that's a bit more difficult. Let's say that we have x minus 3 times x squared plus 4x minus 2. So now we have a binomial times a trinomial. We're going to still distribute. We're going to distribute the x, and we're going to distribute the negative 3. So the way we're going to write this is x times everything, x squared plus 4x minus 2, and then minus 3 times everything here, x squared plus 4x minus 2. So what we did was we just broke up the binomial and distributed both parts of it through the trinomial. So when we do this, x times x squared is x to the 3, plus x times 4x is 4x squared, and then minus x times 2 is 2x. Now we're distributing a negative 3. So negative 3 times x squared becomes minus 3x squared. Negative 3 times 4x becomes minus 12x. And negative 3 times negative 2 becomes plus 6. So now we have to combine like terms. We have an x to the 3 and no other x to the 3's. We have a plus 4x squared minus 3x squared, so plus x squared. We have a minus 2x minus 12x, so minus 14x, and we just have a plus 6. So on these, when you have a binomial times a trinomial, you're going to distribute the binomial. You're going to distribute each part. So now let's say that we just have two polynomials, or two binomials. X plus 5 times x plus 10. We could distribute this if we wanted, and just said x times x plus 10 plus 5 times x plus 10. If we did that, we would get x squared plus 10x plus 5x plus 50. I distributed the x and distributed the 5. Combined like terms, just these two, so it'd be x squared plus 15x plus 50. Okay, we could do it like that, or what we could do is what's called the FOIL. I'm going to write that again. X plus 5 times x plus 10. Now this, you're not going to do it like this. This is just a show. FOIL means first, outer, inner, last. So first means you're going to multiply the two numbers that are first in each binomial. So it's going to be x times x. So here it's x times x. Then O is for outer. So it's the outer ones here. The x and the 10. So it'll be x times 10. I is for inner. It'll be the inner two. So it's the 5 times x. And then L for last. The 5 is last and the 10 is last. So 5 and 10. When we do that, we're going to get x squared. Here we'll have 10x. Here we'll have 5x. And here we'll have 50. Now these were all positive, so we're going to add them up. X squared plus, we can combine these, the 10x and the 5x, to get 15x and plus 50. So that's how you're going to do them when we have two binomials. So another one, let's say we have x plus 7 times x minus 5. So this time we have a negative in here. And I'm not going to do where I break it all up. I'm just going to go first is x times x, which is x squared. Outer, x times negative 5, which becomes negative 5x. Inner, 7 times x becomes plus 7x. Last, 7 times negative 5 is negative 35. Then combine the middle two, and we have x squared plus 2x minus 35. As a proof on that, let's go ahead and distribute the x plus 7 just to show what would happen. We would have x times x minus 5 plus 7 x minus 5. X times x is x squared. X times negative 5 is negative 5x. Then we have 7 times x is plus 7x. 7 times negative 5 is negative 35. X squared, combine negative 5x plus 7x plus 2x and minus 35. Okay, so let's do one that has a few more negatives in it. Let's say that we have negative 2x plus 8 times negative 5x minus 11. So first, negative 2x times negative 5x. Negative times negative is positive, so we're going to get a 10x squared. Negative 2x times negative 11 becomes plus 22x. 8 times negative 5x becomes negative minus 40x. And 8 times negative 11 becomes minus 88. We're going to combine the middle two terms. 10x squared minus 18x minus 88. When we do it with the FOIL, it's always the middle terms that we're going to combine if we have the same, here we had x and just a number, x and just a number. That's what most of them are going to be, but you might have some like this. 8 minus p times 2 plus 4p squared. So we're still going to do this as FOIL. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 4p squared becomes plus 32p squared. Negative p times 2 becomes minus 2p. And negative p times 4p squared becomes minus 4p to the 3. And now we don't have any like terms, so that's as far as we go. Okay, so something to remember here. 6 and 4 are factors of 24 because 6 times 4 equals 24. So numbers that are multiplied to each other are factors of whatever it equals. And if you remember, we had x plus 7 times x minus 5. These are each factors of x squared plus 2x minus 35. So these are the two factors. We're going to get to that in a future section where we factor it back out, where we're going to go backwards. But just remember that. Okay, so some more examples here. Let's say that we have 8x plus 10 times 5x minus 10. Okay, so we're going to do this one has big numbers, but we're still going to do it the same way. It's still going to be FOIL. So 8x for first, 8x times 5x is 40x squared. And then 8x times negative 10 becomes minus 80x. Inner is 10 times 5x, so it becomes plus 50x. And last is 10 times negative 10 minus 100. We can combine the x terms, which are the middle ones. So 40x squared minus 30x minus 100. So that's what we'll be doing in this section, section 6.3.